Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to everyone. So today, I would like to present about about empowerment approach. So this is the outline, starting with definition of empowerment, empowerment philosophy and assumption, the strategies, the strength and the weaknesses, and also when suitable to apply empowerment. Okay. So firstly, empowerment philosophy and assumption. So there is no standard definition for empowerment, but I will give you definition that I think the best definition that I think I can share with you. So empowerment is the mechanism by which people, organization, and communities gain mastery over their life. And also, empowerment seen as a process where individuals learn to see a closer correspondence between their goals, sense of how to achieve them, relationship between their efforts and life outcomes. Empowerment also, the empowerment in social work is able to provide them in certain skills and or resources that will enable them to be independent or stand on their own. Okay, before empower, it starts with the definition of power. So what is power? Power is the chance of a man or a number of men to realize their own will even against the resistance of others who are participating in the action. Besides, power also referred to an individual or group members' ability or capacity to take initiative to make something happen that otherwise would not happen. And then it comes to empower, where a word is related to power, which can be interpreted as to enable or to give, gain, or to take over the power. Besides, empowerment is the process of power is developed, promoted, gained, shared, facilitated, or adjusted by the individual or group members in their social interaction where they are able to exercise their capabilities to make effect and bring about changes in the community as the product of being empowered. As the conclusion, empowerment is a continuous process which people develop, use their own ability to act or respond and give effort to achieve needs to bring some changes to the community life. So the empowerment strategies include the community development, community engagement, and also community participation and capacity building. So for community development, it helps people to recognize and develop their abilities and potential to improve the quality of community life. And community engagement is a process of involving people in making decisions and implementing and manage the change. Mm, and then participation refers to active engagement in designing, implementing, and evaluating strategies to address a particular problem. Meanwhile, capacity building involves strengthening skills, potential, and abilities of people in developing societies so that they can get out of their misery. So, as you can see on the slide, this is one of the empowerment strategies, such as self-help groups. Self-help groups is an informal association of people who choose to come together to find ways to improve their living conditions. And social action group is a group that is formed to take social action to solve problem in their community rather than ask the government to do it for them. Meanwhile, network building is a working together within a group, between groups, between communities, or between the villages. And lastly, support group. Support group is where the members with the same issues can come together for sharing coping strategies to feel more empowered and for a sense of community. So, key to successful community empowerment is through communication, campaign, resources, empowering social workers, capacity building, and also by leadership training. For the communication is used to encourage discussions and debates. Meanwhile, campaign is community be active participant in the engagement activities, and also resources means political and legal rights, where, for example, the government implement a policy to make sure men and women can involve in certain sector. Uh, and then empowering social workers, where provide training, actively engage in designing, implementing and ability strategies to address a particular problem are essential to the community empowerment. And for capacity building, it is one of the key to successful community empowerment because through capacity building, we can strengthen the skills, potential, and abilities of people in developing societies so that they can step out of their misery and community participation. And leadership training, it is individual must develop the skills and stamina and willpower to succeed and leadership rarely because leadership rarely come naturally. So the empowerment strength and weaknesses. The strength is when the community is empowered, they can have the self-reliance and the participation of people. Sorry, uh, they know the community will know how to make a decision making once they are empowered, and also the community will have the dignity and also respect, and they will have a self belonging and contributing to the community, and the leadership in access to resources, and it is cost effectiveness, and the strength also about the outreach work in the community and encouraging local people to recruit and engage others will encourage a wider local participation. However, for the weaknesses in empowering people, is a lack of training in leadership development, lack of capacity building skill, lack of resources. Four is a lack of understanding the community issue, lack of creative strategies to encourage participation, and lastly, may not be possible in the most extreme of life-saving emergency situations where the space and time are just not available. So when suitable to apply empowerment is it is suitable to apply when the people in the community are precarious situations and need help. For example, poor people, battered women, minority groups, and disabled, and etc. Empowerment is also about sensitizing people who are in vulnerable positions or who are potentially weak in the social structure, for example, women. And also, empowerment may be particularly important for communities rebuilding after trauma, such as survivors of a natural disaster, or for individuals in a war-ravaged country. There are many reasons to empower people, but I will just share the three reasons to empower people. Because to abolishing the poverty, to empower for sustainable production, environment, health, and contribution, and also to improve the rural livelihoods. So this is the concept of the conceptual model of empowerment I found in the internet. The model of empowerment by Balzacar and Suarez Balcaza 2017. Uh, I'm not really sure about this model, but as I understand, when the community or individual less in knowledge or awareness, so they need to be give them the power and give motivation to them, and also help so that they can be empowered to take an action and then enhance their skills and competence. Maybe Prof can explain more about that. So this is the example of empowerment, of rural empowerment. As I found throughout my reading, I found many empowerment for individual, for community, and many more. But I only share a few. And so this is one of the program, community empowerment for women, self-employed women's association SEWA, which is the poor women. They are empowered to be independent, where they can take a loan and start their business and so on. As you can see the picture on the right, where the woman teach to produce a handcraft product and other. So the next one is empowerment of poor. Carry out activities such as assessment of community needs, developing partnership, community to community learning, fundraising, community mobilization and awareness campaign to the poor, and training on leadership, governance, financial management, and budgeting. So this is the example of empowerment in health sector, where the government will give the service, will provide some fund to the, will support to the Ministry of Health to give a service, health service and health promotion. So the elements will be like for health education and promotion of healthy lifestyle. So this is one of the example for the time being that we are facing this pandemic. So what our health ministry said, the community empowerment crucial during CMCO. This is because we are in a situation, danger situation where we need to empower ourselves because they already educate us, and everything is depends on the community itself to empower. So this is the example of mental health delivery in US. So they develop their community in giving opportunities to participate in decision making, and so that the community can address issues that they face. This is the empowerment in environmental health, where the elements is to let the people know the advantage of drinking a safe water. Mm, the objective is to reducing the prevalence of waterborne disease, and this is one of the example empowerment in environmental health, where they are educate the community to be hygiene and increase their awareness to the mm, healthy environment. So this is the example of empowerment in agriculture. As you can see the picture where the women farmers are doing their agriculture activity. As you can see the descriptions in the picture, women farmers in the Philippines sieve rice husks from their first harvest after a series of human-induced and natural disaster. So this is the continue of empowerment of in agriculture, where the empowerment is to improve agricultural productivity and water use efficiency, to let the community out of poverty, food insecurity, and malnutrition. So as the conclusion, empowerment can be broadly defined as a progression that helps people gain control over their own life and increase the capacity of people to act on issues that they themselves define as important. People empower themselves. However, governments and other actors can play a vital role by either blocking the process of creating a supportive environment of policies, institutions, and institutional cultures. Therefore, in community development, it is important to incorporate different approaches. So this is references that I use. Thank you. The last word, people cannot be empowered by others as such by themselves. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Moon. May I see your reference?
Ah, um,
Okay. Can you go? Any question? Can you go to first page introduction?
and this one, uh,
First page.
speak, speak. This is my first page, second page,
All right.
third, fourth. Which one?
Well, just go through slowly your slide. Okay, philosophy assumption. Next. Okay, strategies. Number seven page. Slide 7. Okay. Next. Okay. These are strategies. Okay. The strategies. Next. Successful community empowerment. Okay. Next. Strength and weakness. Next. Slide 12. Okay. This one. Empowerment practicality. Yeah. When is suitable. Okay, next. Next all the example, yeah. These are the
Yes.
models. The model just now, from where you get it? From Baker.
Mhm.
Is it from where? This one is what? Is a book or is it a article paper?
Mm, not a book. I think article. I not remember. Maybe I need to check back.
All right. Yeah. Well, this is the first time I look this model of empowerment. Quite a recent one, 2017, 3 years ago. All right. Okay. Any question about this topic, empowerment? I open to the floor.
Amma asked how to overcome or manage the weaknesses of the empowerment approach in community development.
How
So,
can
how to overcome the weaknesses? Nak jawab?
jawab lah. Amar dah tanya tu.
Uh, I think so. Look back at the conclusion. Community development needs incorporate with different approaches. So to overcome the weaknesses is by incorporate with different approaches. And I also share with you the key success in community empowerment, where we can improve communication, campaign, resources, empowering social workers, capacity building, and also leadership training. Am I answering your question? And for Iza asked, oh, Emily said, what's the difference between empowerment and self-help approach? In my point of view, self-help approach is one of the strategy under empowerment. And the next question is, we asked about what is the need to empower women and men. From your view, is there any gap or issue between this gender? Or I think in throughout my reading, I read about equality between. There is a policy that encourage a woman to also work in agriculture sector. For example, they are single mother to improve their poverty and to provide food for their family. So they also uh, have to be empowered to do farming. So and besides, wait, I will check the reference. Beside uh, uh, the gap between to empower women we have to empower women and men because to reduce the existing gender inequalities, which will contribute significantly to improve the efficiency of the chain and cutting food losses. For Isa, based on your slide on empowerment of community in health center, which role do you think the most crucial in combating COVID-19? Between Ministry of Health or from the community itself. Actually, in my point of view, both are playing should play the role to combat COVID-19. But the Ministry of Health only can educate the people. However, the community itself should change their attitude in combating COVID-19. So, I think what is related in my topic, empowerment, I think community is the most crucial to empower themselves in order to combat COVID-19. Okay, that's all. I pass to Prof.
You pass to me.
Yes.
The time is not.
Ah.
The time is still your time. Is only 3. You just presenting about half an hour.
Okay.
Bon,
Anyone?
I have
Anyone to add?
I have one more question.
Okay.
You already said that the community itself will play more role in combating COVID-19, right? But
Okay.
I think every day our DG always saying that in order to flatten the curve of COVID-19 in our country, the community itself must be empowered in terms of health in the first place
Okay.
to overcome these issues, right? So, which one that you think the most?
Oh. So actually, I think I already answered your question.
But
Okay.
if not, what is it? No action taken by the government, so the community will not take action, right?
Oh, yes.
You understand? So which one come first?
Which one
Of
comes
course,
first between government and?
Between the government and also the community. Is it mean the empowerment must come from the government first, and then the community will follow what the ministry said, or
Okay, I understand your question. In my opinion, Ministry of Health. The first one should educate the people because people cannot be communities still need help from the outside to empower themselves. That's why in my conclusion said that people empower themselves. However, governments and other actors can play a vital role by either blocking the process or creating a supportive environment of policies, institutions, and institutional cultures. Without Ministry of Health education and actions, so the people will not know how to empower themselves, how to survive in this crucial situation because not everyone have a health background. So I think that's the importance and where the Ministry of Health play the vital role and come as the first role to help the community.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Mun.
Nama Mun ni nama dia Munifah rupanya.
I have a
Yes.
question, Prof.
Sorry?
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Moon, you
Yes.
explained recently that one of strategies in empowerment approach is community need assessment. Am I right?
Which slide?
Saya pun lupa. Yeah, but I saw that community need assessment is a part of strategies in empowerment program. However,
Okay.
based on what I read before, especially in self-help approach, when
Okay.
we ask members of community about what they need, okay, then usually they will come with all problems or issues they face. So they just need to jump into directly solution without really want to look at the roots or the source of the problem or the issues. So according to you, how what are the best way when to do the need assessment so that the members of community instead of asking the solutions directly, they want or they are eager to participate within the any programs that will try to solve the roots of the problem.
Oh, okay. This is just my opinion, okay? So when you want to create a program, so you should know and have some feasibility study so that you know what's the problem that they are what they are facing at the time being. So then you will create the program to give a solution to the community without knowing the problem that they are facing. So how can we create a program and then and want them to participate? Saya cakap, can you give me can you again simplify your question, make it short?
Okay. In assessing community needs, sometimes the facilitators will ask the members of community with some question such as what are the problems, what are your problems, and then the community members will give us with all answer, and then after that they will ask for solutions, direct solution. For instance, for instance, we ask, are you poor? Then they will say, oh yes, we are poor. So can you give us money? See, can you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So how best actually we do community need assessment so that the community members will not directly ask for solution, but they will engage themselves to find out the solution, you know. Yeah.
Okay. I think I refer back to my slide. The key to successful community empowerment, where we have to have a good communication, so that to encourage the people in discussions and debates and have things with them. And I think I'm not really
Okay.
sure.
I understand what you're trying to explain. Like in communication, you try to encourage the discussion, right? And also the debates. Let us put it into practical way. Like this, you organize a community meeting, and then you ask the
Okay.
problems. Okay, and then they will give you all the problems they have, and then let's say one of them asks to you the solution of their problems. Okay,
Okay.
but then as you say that you will encourage the discussion, so how what aspect that you will address first instead of giving them the apa namanya, the direct solution? Because usually when we do a need assessment, they expect us to give a solution for them. What I understand from empowerment approach is that they will find out their solution for themselves, not us.
Yes.
You got the answer already?
I think once they are empowered by themselves. So as an organizer, we just give a few assists to them, and then they will, for example, we as an organizer have a meeting with them, so we already know what's their problem. And then we give a motivation and we give a solution. For example, if they are poor, so you can take a loan to start your business. And empowerment comes when the people itself take an action. Take an action to take the loan. We as an organizer just telling them what to do, but we are not forcing them. So actually, to empower people is like facilitate them or facilitate them, not by forcing them. As you can see, the the example of empowerment for rural women, the SIWA program, where the poor women are advised to take the loan and to start their business. Once they feel that they when they are empowered, so they have the courageous to start to build up their life. That's what the meaning of empowerment. It's also I also understand the empowerment is like you be a independent person without depending fully to the one who helped you. For example, in Malaysia, government give the subsidy to the farmers or the fishermen, but until when we will give the I mean, how long we are going to give the subsidy to the farmers and to the fishermen? We need to let them uh, be independent after we help them. Am I answering your question?
More or less, thank you.
Okay. Moon, when you prepare this topic, do you find any difficulties?
A few, difficulties, such as many topic about the empowerment. Empowerment. I found many empowerment. So I think I just need to understand the basic of empowerment, so then I can apply in many ways or many sector, because empowerment, the foundation of the empowerment itself, I should understand. That's all that I know in the
Hmm. All right. So are you saying you have problem in understanding the basis of empowerment itself?
It's not very, not so difficult. But I'm not sure whether my understanding is true or not, or my understanding is same with others.
Where we don't know what I mean, what are your friends notion, understanding about this empowerment? And any one of you have read the articles that I shared a few weeks ago, in fact before before our MCO, the second phase MCO, and when you read those articles, do you think that what you conceptualize about empowerment is different from what Moons have said? Anyone of you? I am asking. I'm questioning you all. Does your understanding about empowerment from your reading is different from what Moon have said? Anyone? Emilia?
Hmm?
Novi?
I think in the empowerment, a lot talk about the power itself, but I don't know what is power. A lot
All right.
power.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, a sincere answer, Iza.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, it's okay. Other than that,
According to my best understanding, empowerment is more related to capabilities. So it is about the level of knowledge, the level of awareness, so that later on, when they already have all the things, then they will step into participation. Because in a community itself consists of different individuals, right, with different motivation, different awareness, different some difference, any kind of differences. So it might then influence the process and the result of the empowerment. So that's why we need first to improve the capabilities of the members of the community.
All right. Other than that, anyone?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, Mahinda.
Can you say something? Yes, bro. According to uh, my point, I think empowerment is a process basically to build up capacity of people, especially their knowledge, attitude, and skill, and how to improve their living conditions. Sometimes, basically, they need some. They want to develop something in their life. So through empowerment process, uh, they can develop their knowledge, skills, attitude towards to positive, how to solve their problems. So basically, according to Amar explanation, as a community developer, so we can create the good platform to find their solution. The first we can facilitate to find their problems, what they face their problems, and finally we can encourage to find the solution of themselves. So if we can practice those things, we can empower the people.
All right. Who is holding this? Who is under control on this WebEx presentation? Amar or Moon?
Now Moon, Prof. Moon.
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 Moon. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Apa ni? Yes, Mahendra, you have said your views. Okay, now, any other else? You want to say something about empowerment before I give my points? Yang lain mana senyap je? Tidur ke? I need someone. I'm going to give some link. Give some link. There is one link. I'm going to give you one link, and then I want you to open and share this link. So now who is the host? Moon or Amar?
I'm the host.
Amar.
I'm host. I'm only sharing my screen. You also can share your screen.
Yeah, I will do it.
You also can share.
Yeah. I tak reti nak share ni. Hidup I tak pernah share pun.
Ada button share content sebelah.
Tak, ini bukan share content. I nak share ni. Ada satu link. Link. I want you to type to this link, either Amar or Moon, and then I will explain from here.
Okay, Prof.
Because this is the foundation of it. A very simple for you all to understand about what is power. before you go into this empowerment thing.
Would you please?
Ni sampai maghrib isyak ni kau ni kelas ni. Sebab dapat tak? I pass it in your apa tu?
WhatsApp.
Dalam WhatsApp.
Dalam
WhatsApp.
Ya.
Okay, now while someone is typing that one, let me give you a very short introduction of empowerment, yeah. Now, empowerment, they start with the word power, with the prefix of em, become empowerment. That em is a prefix, yeah, kepada power, towards power. That's become empowerment. Well, empowerment, if you, there is no, I mean, if you try to get it in dictionary of the Malay dictionary, the notion is not as good as what it's supposed to be when you if you understand the whole notion of empowerment, because in bahasa, if you try to look into this dictionary, what they say, the dictionary say is that to give power, that is empowerment, to give power. So now the root is as what Iza is saying just now. So what is power? All right, what is power? Kuasa, yeah? Power. So what is power? All right. Now, before we go together into this type of power, different people will explain you in different ways what is power. Okay, I give you a very simple example of power. Now, now you are sitting, is it? All of us are sitting on the chair. Anyone is sitting on the floor right now? No, everyone is sitting on the chair. Okay, now, let's all of us stand up. Now, stand up. All of us stand up. All right. So now, what does he mean here? You are also exercising your power. Okay, now sit down. Sit down. Duduk. Sit down. Now, when as you stand up, I also can stand up. You know. So what does he mean that?
You have the
What does
power.
it mean? Okay, what power is that?
Power to instruct.
No. Don't talk about me.
Oh, power to.
Your action
Power
of
over.
doing that.
Power offer.
Power to stand.
Power offer.
No, bukan power over. Tak boleh lagi.
Power to stand up.
No, don't go into that power over thing.
Oh, okay.
Go slowly, level by level, yeah. Level by level. Now, when we can stand up, so is there a power?
Yes. Ability.
What is that?
Ability.
Good
Ability to stand.
good answer. So when you can get up, nobody give the hand or assist you to get up. You can do it by yourself. That is your ability. You have the power to do it yourself. Okay, understand? So that when I say like that, you have the power to do it yourself. It is about your ability. Okay. Now, but in some instances, and also in some situation, people don't have the ability to do on their own. for some reason, yeah, people can't do on their own. So we have to assist them. You have to assist them. Okay, now the process of assisting a group of people or individually or in a community, that is what we know as facilitating. Some use the word coaching. Some use the word teaching. Sometimes people say motivating or whatnot. That is about what? About the process of assisting a person to act upon something. Yeah. Now, why this happen? Why this happen? And why these people needs you, needs helpers, needs social worker, needs community developer? Why? Because for some reason they could not do
by themselves.
by themselves. They don't have the ability. Okay? I'm just putting it in a very general statement. Okay, now next. What kind of problems that the people that needs assistance don't have the ability? There are many reasons for it. From a very simple reason right up to a very complicated reason. Okay, let's start from the very simple reason. I'll give you an example. This example is just what you all have raised in the question. Amar, not only today, some other days in our session. The example is about poverty. Very generic poverty. Some people, even they are in poor situation, they don't have knowledge. They don't know that they are facing problem. They don't know they are facing a problem. So, in such situation, they need assistance from us, from the workers, social worker, community developer, and whatnot. Why? Because for some reason, they cannot comprehend that they are in the state of poor. So, they don't have the ability to understand poor, what is the consequences being poor, what is the root cause of being poor, and how to get out of poor. That's why, as Ahmad put it just now, if you want to help poor people, normally they ask for assistance. They ask for money. They ask for subsidies, and so on and so on. Now, if we as a help, the so-called we are the provider, yeah, the provider. If we keep on giving them whatever that they demand from us without teaching them to find out what is their problems, so we are not empowering them. If our action is when they ask for something, we give them. They ask, we give. They ask, we give. You remember the technical approach? Last time?
Yeah.
Technical approach, you're giving them. Just giving the assistance. You see they have difficulties, they have weakness in this area. We sort it out by giving them something. But we did not teach them how to identify what is the root cause of the problem and how to solve the problems. Now, if we just give them assistance, money, subsidies or not, this is not what we understood by empowerment approach. It is not about empowerment approach. It is about technical approach. Remember that there is a Chinese proverb that I mentioned to you in our last class. Now,
Yeah.
giving a fish or giving them a fishing rod.
Pancing.
We give them a fish when they are hungry, when they are poor, we give them food. This is not empowering thing. As I said, we never teach them how to
How to fish.
do fishing or get a fish. Okay, now that is where, if in the other way, if we as the community developer, when we try to help them, we try to raise their consciousness. This is the process of empowering approach. The first level, make them understood why are their situation like that. Yeah, we explain to them that there are so many technique of raising awareness. Understand the problems, the root cause of the problems. Have you heard about this Delta technique?
Not yet, sir.
No. Okay. Have you heard about a problem tree technique?
Yes.
Yes.
Izzah tak pernah. Ammar maybe nodding just now. I can't see Mahinda. Maybe Mahinda also nodding. He said because I can't see your face here, Mahinda. Moon also I can't see you. I think.
So,
Anyone to say something? Okay, now I'll give you an example. Yeah. How to raise people consciousness. One of the technique is the problem tree technique. Now, problem tree techniques is a technique whereby we draw a big tree in front of the community on a mahjong paper. It can be on mahjong paper. You know what's mahjong paper?
Kertas besar kayak ni.
Mahjong, kertas mahjong. The white mahjong paper where Chinese play this mahjong.
Oh.
Okay, mahjong paper. And then or in the whiteboard, big whiteboard. So you draw a big tree, pokok, a tree, T-R-E-E. So the tree they have a big trunk, they have their roots, and then they have their leaf. So a tree normally physically there are three portions: the leaf, the trunk, and the roots. Okay. Now, the trunk is the problem. The trunk is a problem. The root is the cause of the problem. And the leaf is what? The leaf is the outcome of the problems. Let's say the problem is poverty. So the trunk is poverty. Then you can ask in a meeting, in the discussion, so you can ask the people why you are poor. Okay? And then what is the cause of poor? So there are so many answers for it. So you can ask them to write the answer and put it towards the bottom, the level of the roots. Those are the problems that can cause poverty, the root cause of poverty. So once you're doing that, this very interactive technique with the people, with the community, then all of them will learn together why this poverty is their problems. Yeah, and they can see what is the outcome of poverty. Another level, as the leaves of the tree, that is the outcome if they cannot solve the problem of poverty. So this is a very simple exercise. Half a day, 2 hours, 3 hours with the committee members to identify, to understand their problems and the root cause of the problems, and what happened if they not try to solve the problems. What is the outcome of poor for the next 5 years, 3 years, 20 years if you don't tackle the issue of poverty? Okay, so they learn together with you. So during this process, then what I call them this as a raising awareness. Raising awareness is that we stimulate them to think. Stimulate them to think. We never provide the answers. As a facilitator in this empowerment process, we never give them the answer. They will provide the answer for us, and they together will learn. Yeah, seeing is believing. So do it together with them, and they participate and they know what are their problems. So these are among the techniques. Yeah, in empowerment approach, there are so many techniques to raise people awareness. Now, when you raise people awareness, slowly they will think. And along the process, you are creating their ability to understand their own problems. And slowly, if you keep on persisting, doing this together with them, as though you force them to think for themselves. Slowly, slowly.
Prof, sorry, Prof, can I ask a question, please?
Uh-huh.
Usually when we facilitate the process, there are some of the participants that actually have side motivation. I mean, they try to halt the process because actually they are enjoy the benefit for themselves. They don't want to changes happen, because if the changes happen, then their benefit will reduce. They actually involved within the process. I mean, when we ask, but you know, during the process, they try to dominate the answer. They try to even disturb the other participants, so that the rest of the participant can, you know, lose their attention or something like that. So according to your experience, how to deal with such persons?
All right. If you are familiar about the community, then during the meeting, you have to have a great atmosphere whereby those are not talkative to participate in the meeting. That's one thing. Secondly, if you knew or you have some other prior information why this group of people try to deviate from the main intention of the group, then this is your role to mediate and to nego very professionally without hurting themselves, those who are, you know, intend to dominate, so that you create a fair field for people to decide for themselves. I know there are problems on this. For example, in India, some of the stakeholders, they want to dominate the price of product. For example, they tend to, you know, to monopolize the discussion. Yeah. So if you can notice all these things happens, then you can take another step in which if let's say there is a group of middlemen in the community that try to to retain their benefit for some reason, then you must be fair also to the other producer. Okay, because if all these agriculture producer keep on using this middleman, and at the end of the day they didn't get much from their production, then might as well this group of producer, the primary producer, they come out with their own cooperative. You see, that is much more better than holding this middleman in your group. You got my point? So you need to be smart. Otherwise, you are not empowered. You are being, at the end of the day, you also being buying off by this small group of people. Understand? So actually, we are not empowering the masses. Okay, that's why. Okay, now, Amar, when you say this, now we have pushed our discussion to another level of empowerment. Okay, the first one is about the ability, individual ability. In Melayu we say kudrat. Kita ada kudrat to stand up. We have power to stand up. But in some occasion, in some situation, there is a situation whereby a dichotomy. For example, ones who have control, and then they have a group of people is under control. Yeah, the middleman, for example, these are the people who have control about the price. Yeah, so they have power. So they have power. The middlemen have power over the primary producer, the farmers. Yeah, power over. Just now, power with, power within, ability. But now, when there is a situation whereby some group of people control over another people, there is what another term we say, power over. Ini yang Izzah tadi kata kan, we don't understand about power. So I have to understand this. Yeah, power over means some group is controlling over the other group. Power over. Now, when this situation occurred, it means what? It means that there is imbalance of power. Imbalance of power. For example, the peasant, the farmers is being powered by the middleman. They control the price.
Yeah.
So if that happens, so we as a committee worker, how to empower these farmers? So we have again, why you want to empower this? Because at the end of the day, we want to strike back a balance of power. Okay. Now, so we empower the farmers. So again, there is a process. Whatever that you do with them, so that at the end of the day, the farmers have control in themselves, or they have control about they have mastery over their life. Once they have reached this level, then what you do with them means you have empowered the farmers. So in a nutshell, when we say that peoples are empowered, what does it mean? It means that the individuals, the group members, or the community members have mastery over their life. Have mastery over their life.
So, Prof.
I give you a very simple. Yes.
So empowerment is more related to power within.
No, it can be also power over, taking power against,
Okay.
to strike the balance of power. First, maybe they are being dominated by those who have power, those who have resources,
Yes.
and that will create imbalance of power between community members, in the between groups in the community, between the middleman and the farmers. Why? Because they have to sell a price that being decided by the middleman. Okay, so then how you, as I said, if you're able to raise the awareness of the farmers so that they will fight by themselves, try to get what? To get back their rights, being paid less in whatever ways that they manage to do, then let's say they have a good price or they come up with their own cooperative, then at that stage, at that particular point in time, means the farmers have mastery over their life. That is empowerment. They have struck the balance, the power back. Okay, understand, huh? All right. Now that is the higher level of empowerment. Yeah. Why I say higher level? Because previously they have been dominated, or they've been oppressed, or they are being manipulated by the middleman. Through empowerment process that you all work with them, they come up with something. They improve their living condition. They improve about their marketing strategy. Now they are being empowered because they have struck the balance of power. Faham, eh? Dia dah balance balik semula power tadi. At that particular situation, we can say that the farmers are empowered. Okay, now I'm giving you another example, very simple example that relate with you all. Amar, your battery is going to dead.
Not yet.
Siapa tu? Mahinda.
Thanks, Mahinda.
Please remind me also my battery. Okay, I'll give you another example. This is about the power at a very low level. Yeah. Not at the high level, very low level, about ability. Yeah. This power 2, not power over, power 2. Now, imagine when you are just first semester of your study. You just came to UPM, you just register. Just imagine you are first year, first week, first semester, first week in UPM.
First time.
Okay. First time. So you don't know how about the learning process in UPM. During that time, you are powerless. You are nowhere. You don't know where is UPM, how to go there, where is the library, all those things you don't know. So become so tense, and so on. So, and then slowly you adapt to it. What does it mean? Slowly you develop your ability to become UPM student. Yeah. Slowly, then you must slowly you learn how to go about it, and so on. You finish your first semester, then you become second semester. Now, during that process, you learn on your own. You develop your own ability. There's so many ability that you need to have as a PhD candidate. Yeah. Communication ability, persuasion activity, and so on. Yeah. So That is about empowerment. It's very much related to psychological empowerment that Moon just shared just now towards the end of the model. Self-efficacy, confidence. Yeah, you feel proud of yourself. You have control in yourself. That is psychological empowerment. So in other words, what I'm trying to tell you is that there are so many types of empowerment. What Moon have just shared about us is just a basic knowledge about empowerment. And in your study later on, if you want to people like those in psychological department, social psychology, you want to study empowerment. So many of the past students, they go into psychology empowerment. Yeah. When you talk about psychology empowerment, there are so many things lah, so many domains about it. Yeah, self-esteem, self-efficacy. Yeah, what else? These are about the psychology empowerment. In fact, Moon just referred to Rappaport just now and Wandersman. These are two prominent scholars, you know, in early 80s, even today, that the proponents of psychological empowerment, they started research about this empowerment. But much of their work is on psychological empowerment. Then we have social empowerment. Nowadays there are social empowerments. There are what else? Economic empowerments. But the roots of this empowerment is still the same. You mastery your life economically. Yeah. Anything that with regards to the type of empowerment that you want to study, the notion of it, the underlying notion of it is still the same. Yeah. It's about how people mastery their life. It's how people have what you call control their life. They are in control about their life. Okay. So I'm just giving you the gist of all these big thing, yeah, about empowerment. Now I've touched on the type of empowerment. Now the other one is the level of empowerment. Level of empowerment. At which level of empowerment are you focusing at? Are you looking at the individual level? Are you looking at the group level, group empowerment, individual empowerment, or the third one, community empowerment? Which one are you focusing at? For example, in your study later on. I give an example to this level of empowerment. Let's say I'm a smoker. Yeah, a long deep smoker, or the same thing as those who have been involved in drugs or involved in wine, alcohol. Yeah. Now, let's say I try my best to get rid from smoking, from alcohol. Yeah, strive to get rid from this addictive behavior. And then, if let's say under treatment or not self help among friends, I managed to get rid from being a bad smoker. If you study on that, then individually, then this is what we call individual empowerment. You study that individually, because alcoholism, addiction is about individual. Yeah. So if you want to study these problems among smokers, among drug addicts, your unit analysis on individuals, then it can become individuals empowerment. Or if you want to study cases, a battered wife. How a battered wife? Tahu battered wife tahu ah? Apa Zah? Battered wife Zah? Anyone knows what is battered wife or battered husband? Hey, I am asking you all.
Divorce.
No.
What is battered husband, battered wife? Novi, apa battered wife, Novi?
Method highly variable symptom complex of physical and psychological appearance exhibited by the woman. So, for example, being abused,
Beaten. Kena pukul ke?
battered,
Let's say lah, you jadi housewife and then you been beaten by your husband, or
Abuse.
abused by your husband. It can be physically abused, it can be emotionally abused, you know. Sama juga kalau lelaki pun, even a man can be battered man.
True, Prof.
True. If you've been abused by your wife, then you are battered husband. Nampak ni Anik? Yes. Psychology empowerment. This is what Moon is sharing. See? You can read from here. What I have just said is all there. That group empowerment or organizational empowerment. This is community empowerment. There's a lot here. You can read from there. Even there are society empowerment. Laju sangat Moon ni, tapi nak share. Oh, you want share this one, Moon?
dapat
Alright. Yeah. Okay, see? Okay, Moon, stop here, Moon, stop. Moon, stop here. Okay, just hang on there. Kenapa pula dia lari?
Mana ni? Okay.
What is it? Okay, stop. Okay, I'm coming back to what I've just said just now. So, so the level of empowerment, there is another way of looking at things lah. Yeah, I'm giving you a broad spectrum lah about empowerment so that you know where you are when you start reading. What does it mean? You know. So there is individual empowerment, there is a group empowerment. Some say organizational empowerment, community empowerment, and societal empowerment. Now, when you read all this terminology, you have to understand what are they talking about, what is their conceptual explanation about this different level of empowerment. Yeah. So that is the most important thing. Okay, now coming back to this model, I've just said that about this self-efficacy. This is mostly about the psychological empowerment, the critical awareness. Yeah. Why you call it critical awareness? You must understand why don't we call just awareness?
Critical means we can differentiate which is wrong and which is right and why.
Okay, that's one thing. And then other than that is that there are so many awareness, but one particular point that is very critical to raise their awareness. I give you for example, in our body, in our body, there are some point, you know, when you tickle, it give a jerk to the whole body. Tahu tak? Badan kita ni, there are some part that if you tickle, you geletek. If you tickle, they can give a big jerk to the whole body. So similarly, in making people understand about whatever problems, you have to poke, you have to really find out what are the critical things, points that, you know, that give a great impact for them to understand their problem. So that is why we call a critical awareness. Okay, now, so these are the elements of empowerment: the self-efficacy, the critical awareness, the knowledge, and then they can develop competency or skill. Now, in many community development, in many empowerment approach or empowerment theory, you will find people keep on saying community capacity, community capacity, what else? Community capacity building, capacity building. All this jargon is very much related to skill and competence. And if you can remember what Moon have just shared with us just now, all in the boxes, those are the activity, the process, how to raise people's capacity, how to raise community capacity, how to do building of capacity, training, engaging people to participate. When you engage people to participate, people learns. This is what we call the learning process, social learning. When people learns while doing, learns by doing, all this will develop skill. All this will develop their competence. All this will develop their experiences. I think you are aware about this soft skill and hard skill. The soft skill are the knowledge. The hard skills is the technique. So when people engage or participate in a process that you all coach them, in the process of empowerment, people develop all this. People develop this. These are the what we call, as I said just now, a social learning process. So if they are what they call active throughout the process, at the end of the day, they will develop all these competence. You know, they develop the skill, they develop the capacity. You know, all the jargons that I've just said. Okay. So I hope you understand, so I hope what is the time now? 4:16 already. I hope you can read the power over, power to, power within, and power. There are 4 power just now. 4 type of power. Can you go on that one? That slide just now that I. Hang on, Moon. Can you share this the one that you have to all of us, Moon?
Yes, this name I already paste.
Is it a book or apa, Moon? This one?
I just Google and then
Rebus.
Blog. Rasa kat blog.
Blog
Sustaining Community blog.
Macam mana nak share ni? I think it's a good one.
What's that?
Nanti you share, Mun, eh?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Secondly, please read the one that I've just shared, the link. Please read that one. About 4 different type of power. So that you know, you will understand my explanation tadi. The empowerment, you can start from a very low level of empowerment. Yeah. Power 2 means you able to do something. Power to do, power to act. Those are power. Okay. Okay. The other one, the high level is power over. You try to take the power over the group of people that oppress you. Kan? So try to gain back your power. That is the high level of power.
Prof, yang power
Okay.
ni ada level-level dia ke? Yang rendah apa?
Tadi power tu?
Power tu paling rendah lah. Dia ada 4 kan?
Yes, 4. Power over, you take back your power. Let's say someone manipulate you. Someone oppress you. And lepas tu you come up together to fight back your rights. That is power over. Okay, I'll give you an example to tell the power over. This is a real life in Malaysia. Maybe in some other part of your country also. In India, in Pakistan, in Indonesia, in China. Now, if you follow through this TV3 news, there are, I think about 10 years ago, when the not plus lah, it's a concession. They try to come up with a new road, new highways, cut in our residential area. Kan, dia buat jejambat in our residential area. We have been there, staying there for quite some time. And then suddenly there is a project. They want to come out with a highway. And then, well, somehow being approved by the government, and then the contractor try to do the piling just nearby our house. And what happens is that there is a problem of our house become cracked here and there. Okay? It's happened in Kuala Lumpur. So now that particular event is a developer who get a good fund from government to put up this new highway, but they have disturbed our living environment. Now you can see how people try to fight back their right is that they come up to set up a jawatan kuasa bertindak, and they call the TV3, to broadcast their problems. Now, when people come up together, try to fight back their rights, this is what Moon just said just now in her presentation. They said that social action group. They come together. Members of the community try to fight back their rights. One of the way is that they will call the MPs, the members of parliament, and in that area to help them. Yeah, and then they call the TV3, the news. Try to make this their problem visible to the masses. Later, they will get good compensation by the contractors. So these are ways, a good example of people being manipulated, being oppressed, and then they fight back their rights. Yeah, this is part of the with regards to community empowerment. So there are many examples, real example in our life, how people comes together to fight for their rights and to take over their power, or at least, if not to say to take over the power, but they have tried to balance out their situation. Yeah. Okay. Any other more question? We are not empowering the poor by only giving them assistance as provider without teaching. Okay, this one I've touched on that. What else? Be careful of the words giving power. Yeah, giving power. Actually, we are not giving power. We are not giving power. Kita tidak memberi kuasa. Yeah, empowerment it doesn't mean literally we are giving power. No. Be careful. We are not giving power, but we are helping them to develop their skills, their capacity. Those are the things. Yeah, their competence. By having those capacity, by having knowledge, for example, they know they are being cheated. Kan? By raise their awareness, then the people, the community, they know they are being what? They've been sidelined, being marginalized. Then how slowly they come up to get back whatever that they're supposed to get. For example, a battered wife just now. Yeah, a battered wife. Being a battered wife, what does it mean? It means there is unbalance of power between the husband and the wife. Yeah, the power is being loop-sided. So, what is the role of the social worker is that to raise the awareness of the wife about their right. Civil right, one thing. And if you go along the religious, there are another ways of looking at things. Yeah, in Islam, for example, all are giving the same equal treatment. Yeah, whether you are a wife or husband, there are certain rights that all of you should have. Yeah, in Islamic teaching, for example, you cannot simply, if you don't like your wife, you cannot simply knock her head. You know, I mean, you have to respect people. There are ways and means of how to deal with it. Yeah. So if you are a social worker or if you are a counselor, you should advise in a correct way. You know, how to get back your rights, your pride, right as a human being, and your pride as a human being. Now, how to go about it to get the rights? So there are so many ways, lah. From a legal point of view or Islamic, from the religious point of view. Now, that role that you advise to the battered wife or to the battered husband, slowly she or he will take it up. And then once they do that, then they are slowly to raise their bar, yeah, of individual pride and so on and so on and so on. Okay. What else? Now, one more thing. This is very important. The theory of empowerment. Is empowerment a process or a product?
Process.
Process, Moon.
Process.
The product is the
Process,
empowered state, but the process is the empowerment.
These are the things that process. Okay. Be careful. Be careful. Some would say process, some would say product. So if you do, if someone among you would like to use empowerment theory, a good exercise is to carry out a literature search, looking at how many people say empowerment is a process and how many scholars says there is a product. So there are polemic. Some will say product, some will say process. I give you an example to that. You remember I say that empowerment is when people mastery over their life. That is a product. That is a product. When people mastery over their life, that is a product. But there are so many things that before you reach the product, the process of capacity building, the term capacity building itself is a process of empowerment. Capacity building, self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is a product. In psychological empowerment, when you say about self-efficacy, that is a product. Of course, there are so many processes taking place before that. So these are the things that you can craft it, argue it, to see which one is which one is a process, which one is the product. But it's sufficient to say that empowerment should have these two jargon. Yeah, it's a process as well as a product. The Moon just showed just now, if you can still remember the boxes that he showed to us. Yeah, the strategy. Remember, he showed her the strategy just now. There are so many boxes there in yellow in color. That is process. Training is a process. Yeah. Engaging people, there is a process. But Moon does not argue more in about the product. So I think this is a part that Moon have to improvise her write up PowerPoint before you finalize submit to me, Moon. I think that is a part of the thing that you need to polish the product. Looking at empowerment as a product. You have enough with the process. And Moon, you can add another portion is about the four types of power just now that I share with you. Power within, power over,
Power to
and try to read. There is article journal written by myself, Ma'ruf, and Hidayat from Pakistani. I forgot the number of the name of the article. You write that Ma'ruf, Asnarul, and Hidayat. Hedayat. And then you type power over, power within. I think you should be able to get another interpretation of it. All right. I think I have touched the main point about empowerment. Any question? power audio saya tak boleh on. So I could only type and respond. Okay, all right. Any more question? So we are on air about 2 hours, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. So the coming week, who is going to present?
Rose. Habib.
But I heard, I read in your emails, in your chat that you want to take a break 1 week next week.
Yeah.
Kalau slide tu
Well,
dah siap boleh je.
Okay. So next week is what? Is the debate or what?
Debate on self-help
Self-help and tactical approach.
Okay, all right. So you arrange among yourself, and let me know. I mean that's Wednesday, because this is the off for our class. So you decide among you and then let me know.
Okay, Prof.
Siapa yang defer? Moon Oh, Moon yang defer. Tapi you be in this group kan, Moon?
Yes.
Kenapa defer, Moon?
Sebab boleh transfer yuran ke sem depan.
Okay, all right. Okay, I think that's all. If no other question, so thank you for your participation, and apa tu? Okay. See you next week. As usual,
thank you.
one of you has to become a host. Lagi satu apa ni, Ammar and Novin, what is your progress in your study?
Slow but sure.
Because these two are my students. Hey, apa ni, you are now in your second semester, both of you. First, second.
Second semester.
Novin second.
Second.
Ammar, you have come up with your what? Your supervisory committee members.
One left, Prof.
That means you have not come up,
Not yet.
Hey, better do it.
Because I
Prof,
still
yang committee
waiting
member tu.
for your suggestion, Prof. We still need one more member.
Yeah. Never mind. We WhatsApp nanti I WhatsApp you.
Okay, Prof.
Novin?
Novi itu punya apa?
Tak boleh
Speaker dia
dengar.
bermasalah.
Okay, dia.
Prof, yang committee member tu kena sem berapa? Tak
Okay,
kisah.
now for your information, Amelia also, I think number of student, what's ni? Iza, siapa you punya student? Your chairman? Iza?
Dr. Haliza.
Aliza, okay.
Supervisor.
Okay, now for your information, by right, at the end of your first semester, you should already put up your committee members. By right. But now, Ammar, Novi, you are in your second semester already. Better do it quick.
Tapi tak ada lagi.
Yelah, tak ada lagi. You have to come up.
Saya buat proposal next time.
It doesn't matter. No, the thing is
Doesn't
like this. If you don't have your committee members, who is going to coach you for your proposal?
I don't know. Dah ada nama tapi tak full. Maksudnya tak boleh nak upload lagi lah kan?
You have to ask your advisor. The thing is like this. Okay, like this. In your first semester, you have some idea what you want to do, and this need to talk to your advisor. Kan? First year is your advisor. For example, Amelia, Asnarul is his advisor. She should ask me or tell me what you want to do, what studies, research that you want to do, so that I will know who is the right members to become your committee members. It is not necessary that Asnarul to be your chairman or Asnarul to be your co-supervisor if the subject matter that you want to study is not in my area. As the advisor, I should be honest to myself. I hope the rest of the advisor pun macam tu lah. Same. Honest to yourself that if that is not your area, then I cannot supervise you. I can recommend you to another lecturer to become your supervisor. Macam tu. That is the principles lah in human ecology as well as in IPSAS. For example, if out of these how many months, Novi, for example, come up with something else that is not within my capability to supervise her, so I have to surrender. I have to say that no, I cannot. This is not my my area. So you have to, even your first semester, you need to meet your advisor. Well, under this MCO you cannot meet. Then you WhatsApp and email. It's your role as a student. Don't depend on us. We always keep ourselves busy. Don't waste your time. My advice is that if you want to complete your PhD quickly, by second semester already you already have your committee members. What more in this MCO? It's more difficult.
Yang committee members tu student yang cari student.
That's why I say your student cari, and normally the advisor will advise you.
Okay.
For example, Iza dengan Dr. Haliza, then Dr. Haliza can advise you who is the other two supervisor, co-supervisor. But Haliza cannot simply advise you to take Mr. X or Mr. B unless and until Haliza have some idea what you are going to do.
Kena siap proposal kita dulu.
Rough proposal. Wait until, well, proposal ni is a very long process, you know. You don't wait until you complete your proposal, then you want to come up with
Sedap nanti orang baca.
By right, your supervisory committee is to coach you to come up with your proposal. But the main idea, rough idea, what you want to do, then you must make known to your advisor. Then only the advisor can advise you. You take Mr. X, Professor B, Professor A. If you don't have that, how I'm going to advise you? Okay.
Okay, Prof.
Mahinda, who is your
Okay,
supervisor?
Professor Nobaya.
Nobaya. Okay, Nobaya. So Nobaya, myself, we are of the same age. We are almost finishing our tenureship as a lecturer. So I mean, do it quick. Tata, I have to surrender some of you maybe. Okay, that one another forum to discuss. So we are done with our cursus. I mean our class today. So thank you for your presentation, Moon. So see you next week,
Thank you, Prof.
inshallah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you,
Okay,
Prof.
Prof.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof.